All right, you guys, every week that passes, we are one step closer to the season starting. One step closer to our fantasy drafts, to chili being on the stove, to the crisp fall air, tailgating, watching the team that we love. For Saints fans, also known as hell. Guys, this week we have a very special guest, my least favorite guest, coming on to talk about the Lions and break down what they said versus what they meant. Guys, week 1 is less than 7 weeks away. No more talk of cheaters at a Coldplay concert. Soon we'll be seeing them sideline when the Chargers play. From Wondery, I'm Johnny Agar, and this is The Offensive Line. Welcome to The Offensive Line, you guys. We're here to make some picks, talk some shit, and make you some money. Coming up in a little bit, we have a special guest joining us. Back by popular demand, my brother, Johnny Agar. But first, we have a lot to get into this week, you guys, with players across the NFL reporting to camp, and some not. Trey Hendrickson is in Florida, by the way. You guys didn't see that on social media. Not Cincinnati, let me tell you that. We'll get into that later. But first, let's break down a little bit of what they said versus what they meant. It's one of my favorite segments on the show. It's where I tell you guys a quote that either a player, coach, GM said, and then I break down what they actually meant to say. Coach talk aside, starting with, you guys knew we had to start here. Oh my goodness. This is going to be its own segment because there's a lot to get into here. Jerry Jones is back, guys. This is peak Jerry Jones time, in case you hadn't seen. He never passes up an opportunity to say the wrong thing and make absolutely no sense. And let me tell you, this week was a doozy. Talking about Micah Parsons, as expected, because guess what? Hasn't paid him yet. He said, and I quote, "Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He missed 6 games last year. Seriously." But what he meant was, I don't care that he's all pro or that he's one of our best players. I'm going to make sure that he hates me. Then I'm going to make sure the price goes up, and then I'm going to pay him anyway. Guys, that's how negotiating is done. You know, they finally let me watch cartoons in my room, and Patrick is really onto something when he said, 3, take it or leave it. Moving on, Bengals rookie first-rounder Shamar Stewart still hasn't signed his contract, and he's been working out at Texas A&M, guys. There's even more rumors that he could still return to school. Aggies head coach Mike Elko weighed in. He said, "There's no intentions of Shamar to play for the Aggies this year." Emphasis on intentions. Guys, what he meant to say was, the thought of going back to college after getting drafted is crazy. If he wants to play for a college-level team, go play for the Giants. I would agree. All right, let's do another one. Colts safety Cam Bynum has confidence in both Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson as he hyped them up at the defense's expense. He said, "As a player on the defense, they're giving us challenges." Okay, pretty vague. What he meant to say was, the Colts secondary with Travarius Ward, Jalen Jones, Kenny Moore, myself, and Nick Cross might be so fun to watch, it'll hopefully distract from the absolute shit show happening on the offense, meaning the quarterback battle. For the sake of humanity, I hope so. I hope so, Cam. All right, let's do another one. Ray McLeod, guys, has liked what he's seen out of Michael Penix Jr. heading into year 2 and is confident that Atlanta will go all the way to the Super Bowl. Okay, what he said was, "I'm excited. I'm not going to be surprised by any of it." What he meant to say was, "I'm excited. I'm not going to be surprised when Michael Penix Jr. puts up 38 points every game for our defense to then allow 39. Right there with you, buddy. I won't be surprised at all. Let's do another one. J.C. Horn was in the news. Panthers DB J.C. Horn is ready to put last year behind him and move forward. Or maybe not. What he said was, you kind of want to throw it out of your mind because it's a new season. But at the same time, it's also in the back of your mind. What he meant to say was, as the top 3 highest paid cornerback, he knows what he's talking about. That's why he just used more contradictions in that sentence than interceptions he had last year. All right, let's do another one. TJ Watt signed a record extension, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in football. We all know that. But his brother, JJ, was quick to chime in on Twitter when he heard the news. What he said was, "I swear, if this guy even lets me begin to reach for my wallet at dinner, I'm with you, JJ." What he meant was, this new paycheck should cover at least 4 trips to Five Guys. Between the two of them, knowing them, that might cover it. All right, lastly, guys, Lloyd Howell, the executive director of the NFLPA, stepped down on Friday. There's a little controversy in why he stepped down. In his statement, he said, "It's clear that my leadership has become a distraction to the important work the NFLPA advances every day. What he meant was leadership is so overlooked these days, you guys. It's not easy to be a leader, especially in the limelight, which is why I'm happy I have great role models like the CEO of Astronomer. I'm sure he made it to that concert. All right, guys, that is my recap of what they said, what they meant. We had a good week this week of quotes. There were some interesting ones. Nothing tops Jerry Jones, though, guys. I can't get over it. I'm going to have later in the show a whole segment on that because we're going to break down exactly what happened. It is quite comical. A lot of interesting things happening in Dallas this week because guess what? It's the offseason. It's their time to shine. All right, speaking of the Coldplay concert, as I'm sure you all saw, Coldplay hasn't dropped a single in years, guys, this week. It produced 4. You know what I'm talking about. The wildest thing I've ever seen go viral so quickly. I mean, we've had things go viral before, like the submarine thing. Like it feels like every summer there's something crazy that goes viral. But this, I've never seen such mass chaos so quickly. I had to chime in on it. I went to a concert the past weekend and used it as a little joke in my caption. But beside the point, let's get back to football here, okay? It's kind of like this whole cheating thing. It's kind of like DK getting caught running routes with Aaron Rodgers this summer or Devontae Adams caught on McAfee. It just feels weird. It feels wrong. It feels icky. You want to just go wash your hands after reading it. You'd think all the cheating would have left the NFL with Bill Belichick, but no, you'd be wrong, guys. I wouldn't be shocked if these players got caught cheating on their teams with each other. So the first one that came to mind when I thought about a potential situation like this in the NFL, I think this is pretty obvious. Malik Neighbors, Jaden Daniels. If they would be caught in this situation, would not shock me. They could be colluding back there. We wouldn't know. Because if you guys remember, first of all, there's the LSU tie. But if you guys remember, they met center field last year for their game, Giants Commanders. And they were just chatting away, sharing friendship bracelets, talking about the sleepover they had last week. Like, guys, what are we doing? Especially in the same division. That's weird. Might be weirder than the Coldplay thing. I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you guys think other weird cheating situations would be based on? It could be college relationships. It could just be they don't want to be there anymore. Joe Burrow might be another one. He could be, I'm sure he hates Cincinnati already, but he could be cheating on the Bengals by talking to somebody else. It's just a very, very interesting concept here to think what NFL players could cheat on their teams. It would be their teams. It wouldn't be another NFL player, but it would be their teams. I like the Aaron Rodgers and Devontae. Aaron Rodgers will cheat on anybody that's not a former Packer that should be retired and is brought back to play with him one more year. It's just that I don't make the rules, guys. That's how it goes. Hilarious, though. Please stop sending me Coldplay memes. I've seen every single one of them. Probably my favorite was Mike Tomlin hugging the 9-8 season. Saw another one that said Browns, and it was mid quarterbacks that don't pan out for them. They've all been done and used, but I love them still. Will we probably use them and continue to use them into the season? Absolutely. But let me go. No, you guys, I think the Jaden Daniels Malik Neighbors one, though, top of my list. Keep an eye on those guys. No cheating in the NFL. Look, guys, it is late July. The content is sparse, and sports shows have to get goofy to fill up the rundown. My producer knows that better than anybody. We got to really think outside the box to keep people entertained, okay? But we, the fans, we deserve better. Some of these segments have gone a little too far. That's why I'm here to give some free ideas to the producers out there for next summer. All right, so I'm going to list some ideas here of topics we could use in segments to keep the conversation flowing. First one, which starting quarterback would be most likely to have a true crime documentary made about them? Would lawyers be involved in this segment? Probably. Probably might have to stay away from this one, but it'd be funny. It'd keep the people talking. Great social media segment. Next one, which starting running back would you see starring in The Summer I Turned Pretty? That's also been all over my For You page. It's amazing when NFL isn't trending, what pops up. Do I care about The Summer I Turned Pretty? It's a show, by the way, you guys. Absolutely not. Same kind of with Love Island. We talked about that a little bit. Wasn't a show that I'd inherently watch, but it was all over my For You page. Love is Blind. That's another one. Maybe it's just because I start watching the video, so then it just pushes them. Anyway, all right, let's do another one. Which player is most likely to not be at Jerry Jones' funeral? That one might get flagged. That might be a bad one. Love the guy. Want him to stay healthy. But would it be a funny segment? Probably. Because he's alienated, as I said earlier, quite a few players. Another one. Which player would you want to watch a movie with and cuddle on the couch? Oh, wait a second, guys. This was an actually real segment on a show. I'm not going to name the show. I might. If you ask me enough times, I will. But this was a true, honest to God segment, guys, I saw on the show. Which quarterback? I think it was a player. I don't think it was even quarterback. And granted, in their defense, they made it funny and they made it pertinent to the situation by saying, this is the movie I'd watch and this is why. And they tied it back to how the guy's season was last year. Still hilarious segment. Shout out to whatever producer came up with that. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. And it is tough, guys. It's tough to come up with these kind of segments. It gets you thinking. So some of them are great. My answer to that one, by the way, that's a good question. Who would I watch a movie? The cuddling aspect is it was funnier when the guys answered it. When I answer it, it's kind of weird. But I would say probably Jordan Love. I know he's married. Oh, she would be right there with us. I'd have enough distance for a whole couch to be in between us. It's not that kind of cuddling, just so you know. Fiance, not wife. No, Jordan Love, just because I love him and he is my quarterback and I would do anything for him. I'd run through a brick wall for him. We'd probably watch like The Rock or so. It was on TV last night, so I thought of it. Some like super intense movie to get him pumped up for the season. I'd be feeding him grapes with a pine leaf and making sure his feet were massaged. This is getting really weird, guys. Getting really weird. But just so he knows, I would do anything for my quarterback. Okay. Also, I want to bring up this super funny thing that happened. Speaking of segments on shows, guys, today, actually, I think it was yesterday, this week, First Take aired a clip from Cowboys training camp, right? Training camp's kicked off. So we're coming up with segments. I know the segments are a little rushed sometimes, a little pressured, we got to get out there quick. Shout out to whoever this was on Twitter. Oh, I was going to pull up his username. It was an admin type account, like just a funny, that we have these meme accounts on Twitter. They just post funny things. This guy posted the video of Dak throwing a deep pass to Brandon Cooks from 2 years ago and said, first day of training camp's going well. Guys, First Take aired it and then had to come out and apologize for airing his video. Hilarious. Social media wins again. Favorite thing ever. Everybody said it was a deep pass to George Pickens. They were like, oh, the connection to George Pickens is already happening. Guys, can't make this stuff up. Great content. Great content. 10 out of 10. Keep it up, people on social media. I'm just sad I didn't think about it. Would have loved that. Would have loved that. So we don't actually know how Dallas's training camp is going. I'm going to guess not well if they're showing videos from 2 years ago. But I digress. That's for you guys to figure out. Okay, coming up next, Johnny is back on the show to convince Lions fans that everything will be okay. I will try to convince him, as I always do, that he's crazy. Stay right here on the offensive line. All right, welcome back to the offensive line, you guys. Johnny, last block, we got a little off topic, and I talked about what player you'd want to watch a movie on the couch with and cuddle with. What would your choice be, and what movie? We got really out of hand. So I said Jordan Love, and I said like the movie, like The Rock, or some high intensity movie. What would you say?
Jared Goff.
Obviously. America,
because that would be a speech that Dan Campbell would give, I think.
Yeah, that's a good choice. That's cute. You have your little movie snacks. And you talk about how you're not going to win the division. That's going to be so cute.
Don't call us cute, Annie. Don't call us cute.
Oh, that's going to be so cute.
We're men.
Sure. We'll see about that this year. It's not what happens when you lose, John. There's a lot of crying going on that end. Last time.
Whatever.
All right, the last time you joined the show, we talked about Dan Campbell being unworried about all the blows the Lions have faced so far this offseason. Johnny, we're going to talk about your confidence in your team. I see what? I see it coming already.
Why is this every time you have me on, it's always about our injuries?
Why are you being so negative about being on?
Levi owns
Hey, I'm just presenting the...
Wait a minute. Levi Enrique gets injured yesterday. And I was in the car with you. You were saying, hey, John, want to come on the pod tomorrow?
Yes, because I heard breaking news. That's not being biased at all. I thought you'd want to talk about the breaking news. Now, is it bad breaking news? Yes. So let's talk about it. Since Levi Enrique tore his ACL, Taylor Decker had shoulder surgery, and Ennis Rakestraw suffered a chest injury. So that's a lot of injuries, John.
Bruise, Annie, he's fine.
Oh,
It's
man.
a bone bruise.
I'm gonna bring a doctor on the show instead of you. They'll give me more good advice. Okay, so you're not. So basically, my question to you is, you're not worried, even with these couple injuries.
Nope. We lost 15 players last year, Annie. This is an old hat. We're fine. Move on. Bye-bye.
That was the funniest nope I've ever heard. Nope. All right, fine, John. With all that confidence you have bottled up in there, I would like to take this opportunity to see if I can get you worried, okay? So I'm going to go through some hypotheticals that might happen, and after each one, Lord help us all, you're going to tell us if you are, in fact, if you would be worried for the season if this were to happen, okay?
Yes.
Are you ready? Be realistic, by the way.
Are we doing on a scale? Wait. Are we doing on a scale?
Can you just be simple and not difficult for once in your life? No, it's just whether or not you'd feel confident. No scale. Okay. So these are hypotheticals. Okay. First one. Dan Campbell switches out his 20 shots of espresso for CBD water to make him more chilled out, more calm. Would that make you panic for the season?
No, because he's like that anyway, even if he has to make a complex decision.
So even if he was on CBD, he would still make good decisions.
Yeah.
Okay. Amon-Ra decides to have a brighter future ahead of him in media than the NFL, so he retires to focus on his podcast. Would that make you worried?
No.
Why?
We have Dan Campbell.
Oh my gosh. No, who's going to throw to other than J-Mo?
We have Dan Campbell. He'll figure it out.
This is exactly what he said when he lost his offensive and defensive coordinator, I believe. Okay, here's another one. Jared Goff retires after losing to the Packers week 1, which is very realistic, to pursue a full-time career as a fashion model with his wife. As you know, you love her. She's beautiful. Kristen Harper. Would that make you nervous? Your quarterback retires to pursue modeling. If you say no to this, you are full of it.
I think it would make me worried just because the quarterback is central to a team.
Right.
And
is Goff the guy too? You think he's...
Our backup situation has been a little bit suspect. Other than him for the past couple of years, Hendon Hooker's not going to do too much. He's taking third string reps.
Yeah.
As training camp opens, and I don't think we signed a quarterback just off the street just because.
Yeah.
I don't think he could do too well. So
Kyle Allen. Did you say
Jared Goff for nothing? So you got me there, Annie.
Yeah. Well, Goff is kind of an integral part of that offense, you know.
Yeah, he really is.
Hate to think about it. The good news is I don't see him becoming a model anytime soon.
No. He'll leave that to the professionals and he'll stick to what he's good at.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Dan Campbell decides to take a more modest approach and stops going for it on 4th down at all. He starts listening to analytics every single time. Would that make you concerned?
Yes.
Yeah. We finally got him, ladies and gentlemen.
It's how we operate, okay?
Okay.
He's never gonna do that, number one, because he's always gonna trust his gut, right?
Yep.
And he's not gonna lean on the numbers. He's an old school guy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He just goes with his gut, and Jared Goff is a big part of that.
Johnny has like Dan Campbell posters on his wall at this point, I feel like, with how much he's in love with Dan Campbell.
You know how people have...
He can do no wrong.
Dan had a Farrah Fawcett poster.
Dad's getting roasted in the podcast this week. That's hilarious.
I think
Farrah Fawcett.
I have a Dan Campbell poster on my wall.
Yeah, and you wonder why you don't have a girlfriend, John.
He's shocking. He still loves mom and everything. People can have posters.
Oh, right.
No problem.
Absolutely, we all have our idols.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay, here's another option here to make you concerned. Eminem doesn't come to a single Detroit game this season or to training camp. He just cuts them off completely, no involvement. Would that make you concerned?
And no, we don't care about who's in the stands. We care about who's on the team.
But it's Eminem, the heart and soul of Detroit.
Okay, he's the spokesman for the team, okay?
Okay.
And the symbol for the team. Very good.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
But we'll win a championship anyway.
Okay. And last one, Aiden Hutchinson doesn't have a single sack through 7 weeks. Through week 7, hasn't recorded a single sack. Would that make you concerned?
Yes, because that will symbolize
that he's hurt.
That we haven't gotten enough of an opportunity to get pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think, he can't do it himself. Other people will dictate if he gets sacks or not.
Yeah.
Which he had to deal with double teams pretty much all season, and that's fine. That'll open up opportunities for other people. But just the fact that if he can't get pressure on the quarterback, I don't think that anybody can. So we'd be in trouble anyway there. So.
At least he's shown up to camp, unlike Cincinnati. Did you hear that, Trey Hendrickson?
Yeah.
At least a pass rusher, one pass rusher.
Come be a Lion.
Oh, and Shamar Stewart, not even signed a deal yet. He's not at camp because he can't be. He's not even a part of the team. Amazing.
That's even more of a problem for me, I think, Shamar Stewart, because so rookie deals have a tendency to be like a formality, we'll sign this and get it over with.
Well, and it's a terminology thing. It's not like they're even close. It's just
right, yeah.
The situation is crazy. Okay, let's move on a little bit. More news in Lions training camp. Your running back, David Montgomery, had this to say. He said, everybody's tired of being close. This is the year for us, the year of reckoning, and the year that we choose that we need to finish. Question for you, very odd terminology there, because what did they choose not to finish last year? Tell me break down what he meant there with that.
They didn't finish the game against Washington like they wanted to.
Understatement of the century.
and okay. But they had 15 players, like I said before.
But they didn't choose that.
They didn't choose that, yes. But I think, he's talking about the health of the team, and he's talking about what they need to do to stay healthy and how they need to be available. And he's talking about, just wanting to do a little bit more and just having to gut through when you on days you don't think you can. And I think that's a staple for every hallmark player that's on a team, is that they're trying to play out the guys and they're trying to help them along. And I think he's just giving them a lot of kick in the pants at the start of training camp. Everybody does that.
Yeah, it's a good vet move. Plus training camp's the best time for that, because this is where you grind it out.
Right.
Get ready for the season. Okay, Monty wasn't the only one talking at camp. Jameer Gibbs, your other guy, is so dedicated to winning a Super Bowl, John.
It's Sonic and Knuckles. It's not the other guy. Okay?
I refuse to call him
Don't say the other guy.
He said he'd even play safety or nickelback for the Lions. Johnny, explain.
I love it.
Explain to me how Gibbs playing defensive back would help the Lions win a Super Bowl.
Somebody give me a wall.
I didn't even read this quote to him earlier because I knew he'd have this reaction.
Where's my pads?
Does that not get you pumped up? And he would too, wouldn't he? Would he not? Guy. Would he not play any position if he had to? He probably would.
I
they had J-Mo throwing passes last season. You never know.
Right.
You never know.
Throwing passes.
Yeah. What does that? Do you think he would actually do that? Do you think? And what would that? Would that actually benefit Detroit?
In a pinch, the guy is really fast. He has a really high IQ, and he went to Bama. So shout out Nick Saban for that. But man, he's ready to go. My man's ready to go. Okay.
Well, if it's anything like last season, we're going to be like 20th on the depth chart. You might see him playing there. I'm not sure. If that happens, John, then you'd be worried, huh? Would you be a little bit concerned?
No. As long
Okay.
as,
Well,
as long
put him
as
back
they-
there.
as
Put him
long
back
as
there.
Dan-
Matthew Gold. Try having him guard Matthew Gold in week 1. I'd love to see it. Bring it on.
As long as
Fly
Dan
past.
Campbell is out there and Jared Goff is out there, that's the only thing that matters to me.
Your love for Dan
They're
Campbell
like
is...
they're like 2 pieces of pie.
You know, if more relationships were in love the way that you love Dan Campbell, there wouldn't be a Coldplay situation. I'm just throwing that out there.
It's like
I'd
it's like
solve
way
the
that-
nationwide cheating issue.
It's like
Just
the
look
way
at
I
Johnny
love
and his
you,
love.
only sometimes.
Oh, nice. That's lovely. You know, John, I was thinking of taking it to week 1. Not anymore. Sit on the couch. I'll be as far away from you as humanly possible. All right, speaking of week 1, before we let you go here, this may be the last time we have you on the show before we have to witness probably the end of our relationship with the week 1 game. So we've talked a little bit about this wager that if we don't have one, we'll have to come up with a wager. What is a wager that you think we should do for this week 1 game? Do you have any thoughts? We haven't really talked about it at all yet because we try to stay away from that, so the whole house doesn't go into mass chaos. But on
we don't start throwing food at each other.
Right. On the rare occasion that we can coexist, we do talk about our bets that we would make. And what should we do for this game? What could we do?
I will be so nice and let you
I know, I'm trying to think. So just to recap, last year you had me wear a Green Bay Sucks sweatshirt.
like I'm on Ross St. Brown.
Yeah. This is a simple black Green Bay Sucks, and I had to do a video with it, and I had to do my podcast with it. Have you lost one yet? No, because they swept us last year.
I swept you, yeah.
Pain.
It's even a rivalry anymore.
All right. Get out of here. I'm going to just close the computer screen on you if you say that again. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You're not winning the division. You're definitely not sweeping us this year. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All right. We'll leave it up.
Anymore.
How about we leave it up to... Do you guys hear an annoying voice? It's just like it's echoing in here.
Hi.
Can't get away from it.
My name's Johnny.
Let's leave it up to our listeners maybe to give us some ideas.
Yeah, that's good for the comment section.
Yeah.
That's a good comment section, man.
What Johnny and I's bet should be. Because I have a couple ideas. And just so everybody knows, Johnny has to lose now because he hasn't lost a bet yet.
Everybody subscribe to the offensive line and comment below.
You're just saying that so you can see what terrible, awful things people are gonna have me do.
No,
how rude.
Comment below
and he's hiding it with plugging my podcast. He just wants to see me lose another bet again. I'm concerned. Week 1. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm a little concerned. But do I have faith in my team? Absolutely. So you run through a brick wall for Dan Campbell.
What do you have to have faith in?
Our amazing first round wide receiver that we drafted. Pass rush, not so much. Secondary, I feel okay. Jordan Love is amazing. Jordan Love's the future. Jordan Love, I'd sit on a couch and watch the rock with. So.
Secondary, okay. You lost your star corner.
We have guys stepping up like Bo Melton. Everything will be fine, John.
A wide receiver?
I don't want to hear it. We just talked about your running back playing DB, so I don't want to hear it. You worry about your injuries. You worry about your injuries in your team. I'll worry about mine because there won't be any, and I will not be losing a bet. All right, guys, comment the bets that I will inevitably have to probably perform. Just be nice. Just be nice. And you know what, John? I think you've convoluted my whole following because half of them are on your side majority of the time. Just so everybody knows. So this is not going to be pretty. All right, John, thank you.
I love my people. They love me.
They do. They are the best people. They are the best. John on occasion can be nice. All right, thanks for joining us. We're going to have you back on hopefully next like when the season starts to debrief this whole week 1 travesty.
We're playing the Hall of Fame game. What is it next week?
Oh, that's right. That's crazy. Time flies, guys.
10 days away.
10 days away. We are almost there. We've almost made it. I can taste it. All right, guys, coming up next, the Eagles have ruined Super Bowl rings for everyone. And the NFL has called me in to fix their little mess. Stay right here on the offensive line. Welcome back, guys. After a longer than pretty normal wait, I would say the Eagles finally got their Super Bowl rings. They have 145 diamonds in the bezel, the area around it, for a grand total of 12 carats. And for the first time, they have retractable wings, you guys, because everyone was asking for those. Best part, inside the wings, it says, "You can't be great without the greatness of others." So a little shout out to Jalen Hurts. There, love that. Nice tribute. Every year, teams try to one-up each other, which means from here on out, every ring, it's harder to say than you think, guys. Every ring will have to have some Inspector Gadget function, now that it has wings popping out of it. Crazy. We're just setting the standard way too high now. It's unbelievable that I could get on a whole monologue about this, but the whole production of producing the ring, crazy. Insanely over the top. The ring itself is insanely over the top. You guys tell me what you think, if you like it or not. I think it's a bit much, but got me thinking, what rings would have to one-up this Eagles Super Bowl ring? And if this team won, so I'm going to go through a couple teams. If the team won, what would their ring have to make it cooler than the retractable wings? Okay, starting with the Chargers. If the Chargers win the Super Bowl this year, the ring will have a giant row of diamonds, or even cooler, a little hologram that pops out with the word "if," because that's Justin Herbert's favorite word. Although, you know what? They'd have to reconsider that if he actually does win a Super Bowl. If, see, just follows him around. Can't get rid of it. All right, when the Packers win the Super Bowl, their ring would have a button. Hear me out, okay? Some engineer somewhere, get on top of this, would have a button that releases cheese curds. Or somehow cheese curds are at your service. Whether it notifies somebody that you need cheese curds. Either that or a beer dispenser. One of those two. Wisconsin people would go crazy. I would go crazy. That's like every person's dream ring. I don't even need diamonds on it. Just surrounded by little cheese curds. And then give me a little button to dispense them. Brilliant. All right, if the Raiders win the Super Bowl, you guys, the ring will have a poker chip that can be used in any casino in Vegas. Would this cause problems with gambling in the NFL players? Maybe. Who cares? They won a Super Bowl. I can see this going so well with the NFLPA. I think it's a great idea. But the poker chip would have to be like sparkly diamond, pop out of the middle of the ring, all cool. I don't know. I mean, you guys, I think these are great ideas. Will we ever see these actually happen other than Green Bay's? Probably not. So we don't have to worry. Okay, here's a great one. Here's a really cool one. If the Giants win the Super Bowl, actually, I'm just going to stop there because that's not happening. So we don't have to worry about that ring. Would it be cool? Probably. We'll never know. Guys, the ring is just a lot. It's just a lot going on. I think it's just funny that the ring it's like a female thing that we wear, and it's the highest esteemed trophy basically in the Super Bowl, other than Lombardi. But the Super Bowl ring, everybody wears their Super Bowl rings. I think it's just funny that it all comes down to a ring. This is massive ring, by the way. It looks nice. It's a cool ring. The retractable wings, yeah, whatever. It's not my team. If it were my team, I'd be like, that's the coolest ring ever. Nobody talk crap about my ring. But it's not. So I don't want to hear go birds or anything about the Super Bowl ring. Whatever. All right, guys, moving on. We're going to stay in this division, actually. It's time for No Offense, which is my time of the show to rant about something that's been bothering me. Believe it or not, it is not about the Super Bowl ring. But it is about a team that shares a lot of similarities with this team that just won previously. And also no similarities at all. A lot of contradictions on this show. So without further ado, let's get into No Offense. No offense, but Jerry Jones is the absolute worst thing to ever happen to football. Does that sound extreme? Probably. Let me break this down for you, okay? Jerry, as we know, get up there in age. Once upon a time, he was great. I know he had a huge deal with Dallas. He was a great businessman, okay? He got the team fair and square. He's done a lot with them. Okay, beside the point. This is like his time to shine. I don't think this man even cares about the playoffs. This peak lull of where he can get on and commandeer and take over every interview. He loves it. All of these questions. So we talked earlier in the show when he basically put down his star quarterback and star edge or pass rusher. Everything that he says is taken from somebody else. So those questions in that interview, they were asking Schottenheimer, the new head coach that he hired, and his son. The camera, it's so funny to watch the interview. The camera jerks because it was staying on the people who were supposed to answer the question, and it jerks over to him. care about the playoffs. He's having so much fun taking over these pressers. Are you kidding me? This is his time. This is his time to shine. And he does it all with a little smug smile. Jerry, I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying the downfall of your franchise. But most of all, I hope you're enjoying taking us for this little ride because it sucks. Actually, it's hilarious. Please keep it up. I can't speak for everybody else in that division. They love him. I've seen the comments on Twitter. You guys think Jerry's just the best thing ever because he is taking all of the offseason talk off all of us. People who are actually trying to produce a team and pay people to how he's putting down Micah Parsons in a presser and how he seems happy about it. He also threw out a line about like the player getting hit by a bus. This man is he's on another level right now, guys. And it is the worst thing ever, but also the best. So enjoy it while you can. They also asked him if he'd be involved with this organization. If there was a time where they ever thought that he would step away. He said, oh yeah, I thought about it for a fraction of a second. He's having people eat out of the palm of his hands, he thinks, and he loves it. So, Jerry, keep doing you, buddy. I think it's hilarious. All right, guys, that is my rant. I'm sure there will be more Cowboys rants in the future, but that is it for this week on The Offensive Line. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts, and you can watch our full podcast episodes on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. This is a perfect ending to my little rant, guys. I will see you next week, and as always, Des didn't catch it.
Damn old dollar, get the edge and holler.